I logged in as a football player for an entire year, gym 3 times a week, never missed a single session. I was in full discipline mode and nothing changed. You can clearly see here, like when I was 80 and 1 year apart, when I was 90 years old, and you almost see no difference at all. Maybe the difference is a little bit more definition in the abs, but all the rest just stay the same. I was still a 62 kilo guy, and my height is 1 meter 76. So I still was the skinny kid getting pat on the back after tackles like I just survived something. Today my weight is 10 kilos more. I'm stronger, I'm faster, more explosive. I fill out in a journey instead of swimming in it. Back then I thought I needed more motivation, more effort, more grind. I didn't. I was making four invisible mistakes that kept me weak, slow, and stuck. And I didn't even realize it. If you are training hard, but your body and performance aren't chasing, this might save you an entire year. And at the end, I will show you exactly how I train my upper body now as a football player. So, what changed? It was clearly not motivation because I already had plenty of that. It was not discipline because I showed up every single time. What it were the principles, the foundations, the invisible mistakes I did not even know I was making. Let me tell you a story of how I wasted an entire year and what finally fixed it. And at the end, I will show you exactly how I train my upper body in the gym as a football player. Okay, guys, I just finished the whole filming training session. I'm back from the gym. And what I really want to tell you is in the link in the description, I put a Google Drive and you can just copy all the exercise I did today. But what's really important to tell you is these are exercises for me. It's for my weight, it's for my load, external load. So you can really copy the exercise, but with the external weight, you have to see like, is it too easy for me or is it too hard? And then make it for yourself. If you want to program for yourself, hit me up. Link in school is also in the description. So check it out. Now let's go back to the video. These are the four mistakes that kept me skinny for an entire year. First mistake, refusing using weight. First mistake. The first one is the biggest lie football players tell themselves. I refused to use weights. At 80 years old, I had this beautiful excuse living rent free in my brain. More muscles make you slower. And to be fair, there is a teeny grain of truth in that. If you build the wrong kind of muscle in the wrong way, yes, you can get slower. But I weaponized that idea. I used it as a shield against heavy weights. I only train with body weight exercises like push ups, pull ups, core exercises, endless sets. And look, don't get me wrong. Bodyweight training absolutely belongs in a football program. It builds control, it builds stability, it builds coordination. But it's not complete. Because as a football player, you need strength endurance, you need submaximal strength, you need maximal strength, explosive strength. You literally need the whole spectrum. And especially for maximal strength, you need external load. There is just no way around it. So, why I thought I was training very smart, I was actually just training comfortable. I thought I was protecting my speed, but I was protecting my comfort. One important side note, if you are under 8 years old, heavy external loading is strongly discouraged because your body is still developing. Focus first on technique, coordination, and body weight strength. You have to build the foundation first. I was no longer building a foundation. I was hiding from the progress. The result, I trained a lot. I sweat a lot. and I changed nothing. Second mistake, not training hard enough. The second mistake I made was really like not training hard enough in the gym. I went 3 times a week in the gym, full body, every single session. And I always did like one exercise per muscle group, 4 sets, 12 reps, always 12. Like it was written in stone somewhere. Everything on machines. Because I had to train every muscle group in one session, I was in the gym for almost 2 hours, sometimes even longer. And here's the trap. When you know you're going to be somewhere for 2 hours, you start saving your energy. You tell yourself to stay fresh. You tell yourself to say something for later. So the intensity drops. You're telling yourself in football terms, don't train too hard or don't go too hard because you still have 90 minutes left to play. But the problem is, if you do that in a gym, every set feels comfortable. It is challenging, but it is safe. 12 reps, moderate weight, slight burn, and then move on. But as a football player, you cannot live in one rep range. Sometimes you need 8 reps and focus more on raw strength. Sometimes you need 20 reps and build more strength endurance. Sometimes you just need explosive rep with full intent. In the beginning, I always trained hypertrophy, and even that half-heartedly. I was always demotivating because training for 2 hours is so long. And it's long enough to check your phone. It's long enough to lose focus. It's long enough to start negotiation with yourself. And that's why I sometimes didn't want to go to the gym. Now, in the present day, my sessions last for like 45 minutes to maximum 1 hour. It's focused, it's intentional, it's intense. I know exactly what I'm here to do, I do it, and then I leave. Third mistake, I only did isolated exercises. I had no idea how a football player should train in the gym. So I did what most beginners do. I just copied the biggest guy in the room. Machines, one after the other. And machines are not evil, they have benefits, but they always isolate muscles. They can help beginners with learn patterns, but for football players, they come with disadvantage. You need a different machine for almost every single muscle group. Movement freedom is limited, and antagonist and agonist do not have to work together as much. The movement rarely reflects real life or on the field, and the load feels different than free weights. And it's also less functional. And then there is the technique. Imagine a guy on a leg press. I'm gonna show you different pictures right now. And pause the video and just ask yourself, what is he doing wrong? So pause the video, look through all the images, look through all the pictures, and write down what this guy is doing wrong. First, his knees are not at 90 degrees to his seat. His form is not correct, so that's the first mistake. Next, his head is not aligned with his spine. That's very important because your head needs to be aligned with your spine. His knees are very collapsing inwards, and you really can see that the knees go inwards. Next, he's really hyperextend at the top. On this picture, you can really see his feet turn out way too much, and on the other hand, his feet are turning in. And last, his lower back is really like bad because the form is like very shit here. And the worst part, you're gonna not believe this, but I'm telling you, this is the truth. I made those mistakes myself. I thought I was training correctly, quietly, repeatedly, and with confidence because no one told me better and I never asked. Fourth mistake, no real training structure. Because I trained full body 3 times a week, I did the exact same exercises every fucking training session. And guys, that's so boring. In theory, you can still make progress that way, but only if you apply progressive overload, because you have to gradually increase the load, the reps, or the intensity. I was not progressing anything. I wasn't training, I was just repeating. It felt really productive, but I wasn't. So, what does my structure actually look like for me now? Let me walk you through a typical session. Here's what changed everything. On Monday, I always do upper body. I'm gonna show you a picture right now. These are the exact exercises I use on my typical upper body program. You just can screenshot it, you just can copy it, do whatever you want, but these are the exercises I do, the exact amount of sets I do, and you can see clearly what I'm doing here. So first I start very simple. 5 minutes on a bike or 5 minutes walking on a treadmill at 6 kilometers an hour with an incline of 6. Nothing fancy, just enough to raise the heart rate and wake up the body. Then I always move into supersets because I don't want to be too long in the gym. I always do supersets. For example, what I do is first pull-ups paired with single arm shoulder press. And for them both, I do like 3 sets and 10 reps. Pull-ups are just body weights. It's very hard actually. And then I move on to the second exercise, which is single arm shoulder press. Most likely I take around 12 or 40 kilos for each arm. Next superset is bench press paired with cable rows. For bench press, I also do 3 sets, but a little low reps. I do like 8 reps because I want more like explosive strength here, and most likely with 60 to 80 kilograms. It's really like where I want to, how my body is feeling. And then I move into cable rows. Cable rows is also 3 sets with 8 reps, and the weight here is like between 50 or 60 kilograms. Push and pull, balance, efficiency. After that, I always train my core because you have to understand you're using your core all the time. So it's very important that you do this every gym session because you need to train your core. It's actually very underrated how much your core is doing. What I do is like back extensions combined with my core. So back extensions, this exercise I always do like just full body weight or with like 5 kilos in my arms. And I do it with leg hold, and leg hold is just for targeting the yaps. And both I do for 3 sets. Back extensions I do for 12 reps, and leg hold is really like for 35 seconds. Then the last exercise is like cable X chops and 90 seconds of planking. Both exercise I do for 2 sets. For the cable X, I mostly do like 4 to 10 kilos, and I do 12 reps here as well. For plank, it's just body weight, 90 seconds, just planking with correct form. And guys, that's it. That's my session. That's my weekly Monday training session in the gym. Focused, structure, intentional. If me had trained like this, he would not have wasted an entire year. He would not have stayed the same skinny kid hoping something would magically change. The difference between then and now is not effort, it's not discipline, it's not motivation, it's understanding. I do not want you to make the same mistakes I did. I don't want you to confuse sweating with progress or time spent with quality work. If this story saves you one entire year, then my wasted year was worth it. And in the next part, I will break down exactly how I train my upper body, my lower body as a football player in a gym so you can apply it. And guys, remember, days you want to skip are the days that matter the most. Mwah!